Climb.
Hey, what's going on?
Nothing.
When you give strong opinions on the internet and you give them out the way that I do, you have to be prepared when you're wrong to admit when you were wrong. Now, there's only one episode of HBO's The Last of Us, but after one episode, based on the things that I was saying, based on my assumptions, because of the nonsensical language that were coming from people like the showrunners and the actors, I figured this show was in major trouble. And maybe it still will be, but after one episode, this show got off to a damn good start. And all I can do is call balls and strikes. And The Last of Us from HBO, episode 1, was really fucking good. It really was. And I have every reason to dislike this show, whether it be Naughty Dog or Neil Cuckman or Pedro Pascal, my buddy, who makes fun of my accent. I have to just say what I think. And right now, this show started off really fucking good. Now, there are some changes that will probably bother Last of Us fans, but not in a major way. But the normies are going to eat this show up. They're going to eat it up. But even with some of the changes that would maybe aggravate some of the Last of Us fans, that opening scene with Joel and his daughter, the one that we all know, one of the more iconic scenes in video game history, they did a masterful job of recreating that, but not only recreating it, but adding to it. They added to it. They added more context. They added more weight to it. And it actually turned out to be phenomenal. Now, they've race swapped Joel's daughter. Race swapping is always unnecessary, but here it's next level unnecessary. It makes no sense. Why did you do this? Why? But luckily, the young lady that plays Sarah, his daughter, does fantastic. And his and her chemistry, it's excellent. Now, I would love to be in a perfect world where we were just going, hey, the best person just got the job. And that could be the case in this situation, but ultimately we know that's not how Hollywood works. So it's more so a problem with current Hollywood other than the specific situation itself. But they're always pushing their diversity, representation, and inclusion nonsense, and you cannot ignore it in this show. With that said, the young lady that played Sarah, phenomenal. Her and Pedro Pascal's chemistry as Joel, phenomenal. And you felt it, and it mattered. And again, they added more context to this story, and it was really centrally focused on Sarah for a lot of it, and it worked. It worked brilliantly. I cannot believe how good this played out. Now, once you get to that point with the added context, you obviously then you do the fast forward 20 years. To me, that's where the show, it doesn't feel the same. And it's not supposed to feel the same, but at the same time, it's supposed to carry over, and it just doesn't feel as good as that first part did. Now, I will say that Pedro Pascal, I think, does really good in this show and in this role as Joel. Joel is a very iconic video game character, and I think Pedro Pascal does a great job of capturing Joel for the most part. There's little things that maybe bother me, nitpicky stuff, and maybe those things are going to be more prominent as the series progresses with Pedro Pascal as Joel, but ultimately, overall, I think that this show, the second half of this first episode, is going to be more representative of what this show will become. And oh my goodness, the diversity is everywhere in the second half of this show. Hey, we got diversity, everybody. Diversity is so important, and you need to acknowledge it. Not really acknowledge it, but it's just in your face. And it's obvious that it's there, and they can't help themselves. But ultimately, I was surprised by this. Now, I did send a tweet out, and I said, The Last of Us, the first episode is surprisingly good. Normies will eat it up. And what I mean by that is, look, they don't know anything about the changes that are being made, the little changes here and there. Like, for Joel's daughter, like, being race swapped, normies are not going to know or care anything about that. They're just going to see a very powerful dynamic between a father and a daughter. And then they're going to see how that story plays out in this first kind of half of this episode, and it's going to hook them. If they're looking for just a zombie show to hook them with a powerful family dynamic, this is going to do it. And normies are going to be enthralled by this. They're going to eat this up. I guarantee you. If everything continues on the path like this first episode, this season will be a major success. I personally don't think that's going to happen. I still have my concerns, but all you can do is call it like you see it. Now, I said, not sure how the rest of the season will go, but it's off to a solid start. There goes the Jeremy hates everything narrative. I just call it like I see it, even if it's from Naughty Dog. And yes, you know, you do have Naughty Dog. You do have Neil Druckmann. And you know, do I want this show to suck? Not really. I mean, I'm okay being entertained. I'm happy to be entertained. I just still can't watch this with confidence right now because I know the people behind it are so obsessed with identity politics. They just are. They can't get out of their own way with this. But if you're watching this as someone that loves The Last of Us, they literally recreated scenes from the game in this opening episode. They literally recreated moments. They recreated dialogue. It's really good. And then the things that they added only helped those scenes even more. So if you're a fan, there's going to be little things that bother you, but overall, you're going to see so much that you appreciate that's going to bring you back to that game that you're going to love it. And then if you're a normie, if you know nothing about The Last of Us and you're just wanting to see a zombie show, this show's going to blow your fucking mind. It just will. So we'll see how this all plays out. We'll see how this progresses. But ultimately, you're going to get the honest truth from me. And The Last of Us Episode 1 did a really, really good job. And I think that audiences are going to be hooked for the most part. I don't think it's the greatest thing I've ever seen. And maybe because I had very low expectations, maybe that's why I'm praising it so much. But ultimately, it was good. There's just no doubt about it. It was good. Now, the Rotten Tomatoes score at the time of me recording this is at a 99% from critics. Who cares what they think? But the 96 from audience is very, very high. So that speaks volumes about what people are saying up to this point. Now, as I said, I had this video here talking about the young lady that is playing Ellie and her comments about not playing the games. I had the video that The Last of Us is DOA. And that was off the showrunner's comments where he said that pixel deaths in video game, or when a character dies in a video game, it's just pixels, which is just stupid. It's very stupid. And then when I saw the trailer, I did like it. I said the trailer looked really good, but I just didn't think the show would be good. But clearly the first episode is. So I guess we're going to see how this all plays out. Consider me surprised, very surprised, and I will watch the series. I will let you guys know exactly what I think about this series every single week, and if it continues to be good, I'll tell you it's good. If it turns out to be shit, I'll tell you it's shit. At the end of the day, it's still fuck Naughty Dog. It always will be. I have no respect for Neil Druckmann as a human being. I have no respect for Naughty Dog as a company. But when they make a good product, all I can do is say it's good. So you guys have a great day. Thank you very much for checking out this video. Solo lost money. Raylos are weird. Fuck Naughty Dog. And we will talk to you later.